Hi everybody, wanted to share a few thoughts with you guys regarding booking a virtual proctoring exam for the Humber Real Estate Program. And please subscribe at Decapitation. So there are basically 4 steps that I came across that should be important. The first one is pay for an exam. The second is select the time of the exam. I wish these two were together in one spot, but no. First you pay, and then you go through the process of selecting the time of the exam. The next is you do the onboarding test in the virtual proctoring portal, and then step 4 is do the actual virtual exam on the date of your exam. So here I wanted to go through step 1, which is pay for the exam, which the link you can see is available at the Humber Real Estate pre-registration phase HTML. And when you look at this step, it's essentially telling you how to purchase an exam date. So when you go to the specific link, it'll show you the exam 1, and you can register now. And when you click on the register now button, it takes you into the next window where you can see that it comes up with many possible options available for you on the right side. And keep in mind that the black dots indicate the dates available for a specific exam that you're looking for. And the key thing here is to click on the step 1 purchase as an option, and here, which is what takes you into the next image, which shows us the various options available. And key thing to remember is that step 1 is basically paying for an exam. Step 2 is when you select the time of the exam. So here you're basically paying for the exam, and so don't just get confused here because we're just going through the step 1 that is paying for this specific exam. So when you do this here again, you get kicked into a checkout area where you can pay for, but when you click on the checkout button, what happens is that again, I wanted to remind you that you're still paying for an exam, and then you got to do the step 2, which is select the time for the exam. So when you just select the checkout button, it takes you into the login for your learner portal at the Real Estate Education Program account, and that will now take you into your options where you can make the payment, where making the payment creates a registry under or an entry under My Exams in your learner portal window. So key thing to remember here is when you finish that and you get under the learner portal, your step 2 is to book an exam time. So when you click on My Exams and you click on the exam center from the side navigation bar, then you click and choose the exam center that you purchased, which essentially could be Humber College, and you click on the next button, and furthermore select the date that you purchased. And once you select that date, you'll be given a few options. A few options come up that gives you the various time slots available, and you just have to select a specific time slot that you want. I would pause here and say to you that if you are not comfortable doing this and selecting the specific time slot, just call Humber and they will allow you to help you assign a specific time slot that you want. Because when you look at the earlier section where you see the various time slots available, it may show you 11 a.m. available, but when you log in, the 11 a.m. is not seen. So you might want to call them up, and maybe you might get your 11 a.m. slot if you want that specific time frame. So that's why here this time slot can be you can call in and actually ask them to give you a specific sample if it's available. The next thing is, obviously, if you like what you see on the screen, book a time slot, and that'll give you a specific time slot available for us. So once you do this, you'll get two emails. One is from Humber Real Estate Program. The second email is from the virtual proctoring company, the guys who are going to be monitoring you when you do all of these, all of your exam. But these guys, they send you a temporary password when you're doing this for the first time. They send you a temporary password, and please remember, please change this password or the virtual proctoring to something that is simple that you would remember. Why? Because you cannot bring any scrap sheets with passwords to the virtual proctoring center. That is a no-no, because in any scrap sheets or anything that you bring with written material on is not allowed in the virtual proctoring exam. So that's why, the next step is, once you're happy with those three things, once you set up your virtual proctoring password, step 3 is to do the onboarding test. Onboarding essentially is a test that has been set up where you're actually doing a mock of the test so that the company knows your environment. The company also allows you to go through the motions of going through a laptop app. There are 2 steps basically. There's a laptop app that you got to download, and there's a mobile app. So the laptop app essentially helps you to do a face scan, a scan of your ID card, and also you can also do the whereas a mobile app enables you to do the room scan and the table scan. Sometimes people don't do the mobile app and they just do the laptop app, and they can do the room scan and table scan through them, but it's going to be tough to do that. So nevertheless, ensure that you download the laptop app and the mobile app. So disregard my comment about not having a mobile app. I think it's very important to have a mobile app and do the room scan and the table scan in this process. The next thing to do, understand, is that when you do this, do the onboarding test at least 4 days prior to your exam date. Why? Because if you fail your onboarding test, or if your onboarding test is unaccepted, then you need time to do this again. And don't do this like 24 hours before your actual virtual exam, because you're not going to, if you don't pass your onboarding test, you cannot do your virtual onboarding exam. So keep that in mind. So here, my few suggestions, also suggestions from the company, is to use Google Chrome as your browser of choice. Download the virtual proctoring app on your laptop. Log in using your virtual proctoring app credentials. Do a face scan when indicated to confirm identity, and then scan a government-issued ID card to verify identity. So you are doing all of these steps as prompted by you on the screen. So it's pretty easy to do this, but the first time you do this gets a bit intimidating, but just overcome your fears and just follow the instructions on your laptop, and it'll allow you to get through this entire process here. And the next thing to do is to also download the virtual proctoring app, as I mentioned earlier. This is very, very important, because this helps you to connect the mobile to your laptop. This is a similar process also used in the final virtual proctoring exam that you would do, where a scan code comes up on your laptop, and you just have to, once you download the mobile proctoring app on your phone, you just have to scan the code, which helps to sync your laptop with your mobile. Then you do a room scan using your mobile, which is for about 20 seconds. So you just go around the room where you are, so people, so that the proctors can see what the room is like. Then do a table scan using a mobile, which is using your mobile and going around your laptop, so they can actually see what's around your laptop and the environment. So this is you try to confirm the environment that you're in, trying to confirm your identity, and all those things are basically, initially intimidating, but once you get through this first round, I think everything should be straightforward. So once you do the onboarding test, I think about approximately about 48 hours after you do the test, you should see an email come in saying whether you have passed or failed your onboarding test. And if you log in and if you see the green here, it essentially shows that you've passed the onboarding test. Don't bother about this retake test. This is kind of confusing. If you retake the test, then you got to go through the same motions again. So this green here and this green here is kind of like telling you that, hey, I've passed the baseline exercise of actually doing this. So green means you passed your onboarding test. You're good to go for your actual virtual proctoring exam here. And then a couple of days before your virtual proctoring, this is step number 4, you will get an email like this, which is saying, hey Joe, you've been scheduled to take this specific exam at a certain time and a date. Log into this specific site to attend this test. But keep in mind, you have to first log into your proctoring application site on your laptop. That is critical here. So the first step is you first keep in mind you have to bring your phone and your phone charger. Make sure you bring your laptop and your laptop charger. Do not bring any scrap sheets with passwords again, with things written on it. Do not bring a physical calculator, because you have a physical calculator through the portal, and it's available as you need it. So when you do this step number 4, make sure you understand first you log into the virtual proctoring site, and that is critical. Once you follow and complete the steps are the same as what you did for the onboarding. Then you go, once you've gone through the motions of doing an environment check, your identity check, then you go and open a new tab and go into the real estate learner portal through the virtual proctoring site. That is critical. So this is why I'm saying that when you pass the onboarding test, you see this thing here, and a few days before, you will see a button called confirmed once you log into your Proctotrack or your virtual proctoring site here. And when you click on the confirmed button, you get, it turns blue, and it then takes you and tells you that you're good to go for the test. And it takes you into and gives you a pop-up like this, where you can actually see this icon. I wish it was highlighted better. You can see that you can click on the go to test, and that's when you can see that when you go through and follow the instructions, when you do the face scan, you do the scan of your identity card, then you do the 20-second room scan, and you do the 10-second table scan. Once you do all of these instructions and follow all of these steps, then you go through the process where the virtual proctoring app asks you to share your screen. When you select the share your screen, you'll see a blue border like this come up around your laptop and laptop screen, which tells you that, hey, you are being monitored, and whatever you do, your mouse, your keyboard, your mouse movements are all monitored, and any windows that you open are all going to be monitored. So that's why here in this case, open a new tab in the browser and go to Humber Real Estate and log into your learner portal. And here you can see that essentially these are things that you probably all already know. Just log in there, and then this will then bring you to a window which shows you that there is a Proctotrack online proctoring under My Exams here. But what's important is to click on the enrollment history there, And once you click on that, you will see this invigilated theory exam come up. And then click on this link, and which will then bring you into a page where you can see here that it says click here to access the exam. And this is where it takes you into the exam, but before you go into the exam, it pauses and it gives you a window which says you cannot copy, do screenshots of the questions. You cannot write down any of the questions that is coming up. You're bound under confidentiality not to share any of the questions to anyone anywhere over the interweb. So that's critical here. So once you click on this, you're into the exam mode, and the window pops up with showing you the exam. And not able to show you those things, but that essentially is the gist of what we have here for going through the motions of doing this for the first time. And every time, the first time is always a difficult process, because once you do this first round, the next stages of all the other exams that you do are similar, and you gotta go through these motions as if you're going to be an expert. So that's in a nutshell. Thank you for watching, and please subscribe at the link at Decapitation.